All right, so this week we are playing Mortal Kombat 11. So, sir, how do you feel about Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I got nothing wrong with Mortal Kombat. I played a little bit of X or 10, back in the day when that might have been on Game Pass too, at some point or something like that. I did play a little bit of 10, but I did not play any of 11 here. But I know it's been on sale a lot. There's a ton of DLC for it. We're from mygamer.com, by the way. Go check out our website. You can follow me on Twitter at ZackGaz, ZackGaz. But yeah, I got nothing against Mortal Kombat. I like Mortal Kombat. I want to say the production values ever really since 10 has just exceeded far and away my expectations. I never knew, like the Mortal Kombat's always had a story, but it was never like a big,
I
major, huge
didn't like.
focus.
So I bought Mortal Kombat when they rebooted it, pretty quickly, like almost on launch date. I found there was like some random guy selling it for like $20 for some reason. I was like, done. Um, the Mortal Kombat 10 was like I loved the remake, reboot, whatever, so much that I bought 10 on like day one, and I was kind of disappointed with 10. The story in it was very formulaic. Like it was, you would do 3 battles with a character, and then move on to the next character, and that's how it went. And it was just so it felt like by the numbers that it annoyed me.
Yeah, I was just surprised that they put all this focus into the story. Like there's these crazy characters that like I haven't really been keeping up with Mortal Kombat, so I didn't really know who was who and what was going on, but the production values I thought were, like this right here, like this is well done. I was not anticipating Mortal Kombat to have a crazy detailed story with like motion capture and voice acting and to be as detailed as it is, like they put effort into this. It's not simply just a fighting game. You're getting a campaign here too with a huge story, and I thought that was just completely unexpected, at least by my expectations. And oh, you know what it was? Now that you mention it, it was like Mortal Kombat was one of those free games where you can play on a weekend. Like the
You got a
free
free
play.
weekend out of it, okay?
Free week, yeah. So I played it for like that one weekend or whatever. It's been
You
free
could, yeah,
maybe
and you
once
can
or
beat the
twice.
story pretty.
And I got kind of far, and I was like, oh, this isn't like that bad. I kind of like this, but yeah, but yeah, I never played 11 here, and Raiden is just murdering the hell out of people. Jeez.
Well, yeah, he's tired of their bullshit. I mean, you didn't think they were gonna play around, did you?
Well, I mean, it is Mortal Kombat, so what would it be without beheadings and horrible blood and very disgusting squishing of the guts?
Yeah. Um, but there's a lot of DLC characters which I managed to grab, mainly only because it was on sale.
Yeah,
But that's
there's a ton of DSC. There's like we were just talking about the Terminator characters, Jason, RoboCop.
there was Freddy in the other ones. I don't think he's in this one. Um,
Right.
but this, it, yeah, I'm really glad the direction that they're going in. Um, my only issue is a lot of the stuff with modern day fighting games is just so many DLC characters. Like I remember when DLC was stuff that it just kind of felt like this is old man me talking, but it was, you would buy DLC and would be like, oh, it's like expansion, so it's more for my game, and then now it's just shit that they should have put in the game. Fucking
Yeah, I don't
every
know what
fighting
to.
game has more characters that you can download that are available almost immediately after coming out. I mean, and then you can fucking look at Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and there's a billion DLC fighters you can get for that.
Yeah, it could be. That's always been kind of my thing with these more serious fighting games is the intimidation. Like, one, I'm not going to learn the mechanics of the game. Two, I don't know who these characters are. Three, if I play online, I'm just going to get smoked because I don't know what I'm doing. And this game has been out for a year or two at this point, and it's
Yeah, I
like
think
only the pros are really still playing. Like the really good, dedicated players.
and there was a mobile game that tied into this, which I did play for a while, but it got kind of gotcha after a while. That it was with the entire energy thing and special events, and it basically it just wanted you to keep dumping money in it.
Yep, and put you behind mobile timers.
Yep. All right, let's see.
So are you Cassie or Sonya?
I'm Cassie. Well, yes, I'm the one that hasn't gotten one single hit in.
I like how it's like, let's start off the story by having a daughter and fight her mother.
Hot.
Like, way to kick it off. Like, let's start it off with the beheading by a thunder god,
Yeah.
and then let's have, a family literally beat the shit out of each other to a bloody pulp.
Yep. I mean, would you have it any other way? I'm guessing that I'm gonna fight Luke Cage after this.
Yeah. My question is like where. So if this is Mortal Kombat 11, like where would Mortal Kombat 12 take the series? Because like 10 and 11 here, like visually kind of looking the same. They like I said, they put the big emphasis on the story. Where would 12, like what would be like the main, like what would separate a 12, a sequel from the two games before it? These are really bloody games. Like the combat seems kind of the same. Like what else can it do?
I'm wondering. I mean, Street Fighter 4 or 5 kind of did the thing that there was almost no single player, and I'm just wondering how much longer until that's sort of the norm for fighting games. Which is it was. I thought that was his daughter for a second. Which would have been really upsetting.
Like the one thing that's, I don't know, maybe an idea for 12, which could be totally stupid, is like you're beating the shit out of each other here, right? Like what happens in like halfway through the match, you break his arm, and then he can no longer use his arm. Here it's like you get the broken bone animation, but he still fights. As if it's not.
There was a game
broken.
that they did that,
Yeah.
and it was like like everyone fucking hated it.
Yes.
It was like people described it as interesting.
It sounds good on paper, but
it's one of those things that you're like, oh yeah, we got to have a fighting game like that, and like everyone who played it was like, it was a fucking disaster.
Yeah, see, that's my point. So like, where could a sequel go from beyond here? I mean, that's such a
more story.
To make it,
they do combat towers.
More story, sure, but man, it's like from a gameplay standpoint. I mean, these are already really bloody games. I don't know, you make it more combo based or something. I don't know what the answer is, but be curious to see what's going to happen over the next, 1 to 3, 4 years when they come out with a new one eventually.
Well, I mean, this is still an Evo, so it's very highly regarded.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think it'll be a while before 12 comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they just actually released like their last DLC pack not like too long ago.
Probably. I'm gonna guess 2 more battles with Casey, because that's just how it works.
And this is another thing. I'm glad this kind of came up here. Is like Mortal Kombat you get, you think it's just like, I'm just gonna beat the shit out of each other with punches and kicks, but yet they're bringing guns. Like, when is like, and they actually like kill all these dudes with the guns. Like, wow. Like,
Uh,
I thought it was just like a karate tournament, but no, we got
s-
armies and stuff.
they always had guns. Like some of them had guns.
Yeah, but this is like, let's bring a whole army with like machine guns, and it's like, let's make that a permanent part of the story. I don't know. I just thought that was, it almost seemed out of place when I first saw that. I was like, whoa, really? I was not anticipating that either.
Yeah. Oh. Man, don't fuck with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the story is, like who died, who's the champion, Earthrealm. Like Liu Kang's a zombie now or something.
Yeah, Liu Kang, I think he died in the first one. Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
see.
So the reboot Mortal Kombat, it was actually a time travel story. So that's why it was a soft reboot.
Hmm.
And it covered the story of 1, 2, and 3. And I think 11 was just its own thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
don't know. I'm upset. This doesn't have Cyborg Sub-Zero. He was my favorite.
oh, was he in 10 Cyborgs? I know
I know.
there's been Sub-Zero. There's one with like without his mask. He became a cyborg.
Yeah, that one was my favorite character to play. But unfortunately, I didn't see him in this. He might be. He's probably just a Sub-Zero skin, but it's one of those things that it. People are like, oh well, you could just do Ken and Ryu with separate skins, and it's like, yeah, they
Yeah,
play differently though.
they're slightly different. Yeah.
And it's once you actually know how to play the fucking game, you do see the differences in them.
Did you see the Mortal Kombat movie on HBO?
No, didn't
I
it?
I watched it because it was I think it was one of those movies, like maybe it was supposed to come out in theaters, but then they just, HBO was like, we're just gonna put this because this is during the pandemic, and it was one of the Warner Brothers movies. Oh, that's what it was, because it was the HBO, like Mortal Kombat, like the next eventual Matrix movie, the Wonder Woman movie, all those had exclusive deals in
Yeah,
2021. I
for
think it goes into
HBO
2022
Max. Yeah.
for HBO Max, because nobody's actually going to movie theaters. And so they released it on HBO, and I watched it, and like, it wasn't bad. I mean, it's still not
And
great.
Mortal Kombat, like, even when the plot is great, it's not
It's not going to
good.
be fantastic. Yes, exactly. So that's exactly what this was. It was pretty ridiculous. And
And I think
the
that's why the reboot, the Mortal Kombat, so it was 9, I think that's a lot of why that reboot worked so well, was because it, like, fully acknowledged how fucking stupid all of
yes,
this is.
you got Cabal there. Yeah, but like the movie, the reboot movie, like, again, not definitely not bad, but definitely not great. But the character who played Kano steals steals the scene, every scene that he's in. And it's like, if Kano, let me put it this way, if Kano wasn't in that movie, or some other character or whatever, like, it would have been like just pretty terrible. But because he was in this movie and he was just a complete asshole, that's what made it kind of funny and worth watching, was Kano alone. But yeah, I mean, if just being a fan of, and playing the games since basically the original, it's kind of worth checking out if you have that. I mean, I don't know if maybe it's not even on HBO anymore or something, like, maybe it might have been a timed exclusive or something like that. But
So I'm just going to go back and show some of the single player
yeah, I want
features.
to see, yeah, I want to see the huge roster of characters, because
Sure.
I know there's a ton, especially if you got the super pack with all the
You can
DLC.
see how just actually awful I am. All right, so
Oh
this
yeah, look at
is
that. Yeah, huge.
the Joker.
Yes. Oh, Spawn.
Yeah.
Nightwolf came back. Oh yeah, Rambo. That's what it was.
Rambo.
You got Rambo at the bottom there. Go left.
Terminator.
Terminator. You got Arnold, Rambo,
Collector.
RoboCop.
Prius, Signal. Yeah. Kotal Kana. Okay, whatever. RoboCop. Kano.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters. What is Liu Kang? Does it say like zombie Liu Kang or is it simply Liu Kang? Go down. And no, yeah.
It is just says Liu Kang.
Yeah.
The Joker is a weird addition.
Yeah, I mean, well, they made the Marvel. They made the DC fighting game using the Mortal Kombat engine, but they're like, we can't actually kill people. We can make it kind of brutal and dark, but we just can't decapitate.
Yeah. Or rip their heart.
Rip their heart out and
and eat it.
Beat each other with their own legs, stuff like that.
Yeah, or the brutalities. We can do friendships.
Yeah, right.
Also, maybe babalities. Everyone's favorite move.
Yep. Even though it's like the same thing for everybody.
They had different colored diapers on, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
My one complaint is that this is over 100 gigs to install.
I was just going to say this is the PC version, and I'm sure it's got to be a similar situation if you play it on Xbox or PlayStation. Just a big game, especially if you get all those DLC characters. What's crazy is like, so here's Mortal Kombat 11 with all the DLC, 100 gigs, right? What blows my mind is you play Smash Brothers and it's still under like 4 gigs with all the DLC, with all the, that game has, man, how many music tracks in it? Like it's insane. Like what is the data compression on that is just amazing to me. But it's nowhere near like as detailed as this, sure, I guess. But at the same time, there's still tons and tons of content in Smash. But it's only, you could put it on a single DVD. I think it's literally under 4 gigs, which is crazy.
Yeah, because the Switch the Switch uses the cards. It's not anything. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck just happened there, but okay.
Final round. Fight.
Like how you just get a dude in the background, just like, yeah, I don't really care. I'm just gonna watch these two guys fight. I'm not gonna interfere. Ooh.
4 downs and then Y for mid.
Nice.
I guess in fighting game tournaments, it's considered bad form to do a finisher.
Really?
Yeah. It wastes time.
No, I guess that's true.
Because it not only is it normally like best of 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's best of 3 and then however many rounds you have, which is probably 3. So, excuse me. It takes, it's like 10 minutes. And if you're doing a fucking tournament,
yeah, you need every minute because that adds up.
Yeah, and so it's just you're kind of, and it's, I don't know.
There's probably an option where you can actually turn them off in the menu.
I think you can.
Yeah, there's probably.
Yeah. So
it feels weird because it's like you you beat your opponent, you hit start, you go to the move list. You could see back in my day, we had to memorize our fatalities. And I remember actually writing them down, going to fucking Kmart, right? And then they could go to the magazine section. And
Yep, and like yeah,
there's like the one page in the back that has like all the fatalities. And this is before cell phones, so you couldn't even take a picture of it. So like you'd bring a pen and a piece of paper and like write them all down so you don't have to buy the $5 magazine.
yep,
And then you go home and you try to pull them up, but then you can't read your own handwriting. It was a whole thing.
Fight.
yep. So,
Now you
what do
can
you
just
think
look it
about
up.
Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, like I said, I'm impressed by the amount of detail that's in these games, the amount of fighters, very impressive. Like I would rather play, if I'm being honest, like probably Mortal Kombat. I think it would be more newbie friendly, so like a schmuck like me can kind of, jump in, hit a few buttons, maybe get some hits, and still kind of have a good time, as opposed to like a new Street Fighter game, or a new King of Fighters or something like that, where I just wouldn't know where to even start, what to do, how to do any super moves,
Yeah,
what the gauge that builds up on the bottom does. I think this is a little bit more
newbie
approachable,
friendly.
and I like that there's a very detailed story.
Fatality.
Absolutely. All right. So for this week, I've been Gilman.
Yep, and you could follow us at mygamer.com. You could follow me on Twitter at ZackGaz, ZackGaz. And until next time, thank you for watching and game on.